The Neet exam is a pressure cooker. Every year, 2.2 million students compete for a tiny sliver of available medical seats, sacrificing years of their lives for a single chance to pass. On May 2nd, the night before the exam, an MBBS student studying in Kerala sent a WhatsApp message to his father, who manages a student hostel in Sikar. The message contained a PDF attachment. The student claimed it held the exact 300 questions for the following day's test, and he wanted his father to distribute them to the girls in the hostel. Rumors of test leaks are common, and many turn out to be harmless hoaxes. But ignoring this specific file would soon prove to be a historic mistake. After handing the paper to his students that morning, the father waited until the exam concluded to verify the contents with a local coaching tutor. When compared side by side, the results were undeniable. Out of 180 questions on the test, 135 matched the leaked document perfectly. The sequence was exact. All 90 biology questions and 45 chemistry questions appeared in an unbroken string, with every comma and full stop in its original place. Hitting 135 consecutive questions by chance is a statistical impossibility. This degree of alignment only happens when a test has been completely compromised. By the time the first student opened their exam booklet, the future of India's medical system had already been breached. Tracing this document to its origin leads to an authorized printing press in Nashik, Maharashtra. To avoid detection, the thieves relied on high-definition portable scanners rather than cell phone cameras, ensuring a clean digital copy without leaving a metadata trail. The gang even established a hidden shadow server on the outskirts of the city to transfer the data, bypassing official monitoring systems. A medical student in Nashik purchased the initial raw scan for 1 lakh rupees. The use of dedicated servers and offline scanners suggests a high level of technical sophistication. This was a premeditated heist designed specifically to evade national security protocols. The file then moved north to Gurgaon, where it was sold to a doctor for 15 lakh rupees. To make the stolen data look like a legitimate study aid, the syndicate laundered the document. This disguised the illegality of the file for potential buyers. They extracted 120 of the actual exam questions and mixed them with hundreds of outside practice problems. This mixture was rewritten by hand into a 410-question document, creating a layer of plausible deniability for anyone caught with the paper. By rebranding a stolen federal document as a guess paper, the syndicate turned evidence of a crime into a highly marketable product. 1 week before the test, the Bawal brothers purchased this handwritten paper for 30 lakh rupees and brought it to Rajasthan. Distribution followed a multi-level marketing structure. The brothers acted as regional distributors, selling access to smaller local agents. In Sikar, a single counseling agent bought into the network for 5 lakh rupees, eventually distributing the paper to roughly 700 students. At the bottom of the pyramid, individual students paid up to 50,000 rupees for a copy. Forensics later confirmed the scale of the spread. WhatsApp tags showed the file was forwarded many times, with some students possessing the questions a full month before the exam. What began as a single digital theft had evolved into a multi-million rupee franchise, compromising the integrity of the entire 2.2 million-person testing pool. Back in Sikar, the father attempted to report the leak, but local police dismissed his evidence and warned him against spreading rumors. The National Testing Agency initially downplayed the incident, describing the leaked document as merely a circulating PDF. They argued that because only 135 out of 180 questions matched, it could not be classified as a full paper leak. However, the investigation soon uncovered documented ties between the accused distributors and regional education ministers. Suspicion deepened when records showed that 4 family members of these same distributors had all cleared the Neet exam the previous year. The real failure was not just a security breach, but the refusal of the responsible institutions to acknowledge physical evidence until they were forced to by public pressure. Following a public outcry, the NTA took the unprecedented step of canceling the exam and handing the investigation over to the CBI. This administrative collapse fell hardest on the students. Those who sacrificed years of their lives were suddenly forced into a grueling retest because a few criminals were able to bypass the system. When questioned about these failures and the need for accountability, The National Education Minister left the press conference without offering a response. Without a complete structural overhaul of the NTA, the vulnerabilities that allowed this leak will remain in place, ready to be exploited again. The ease with which this system was dismantled suggests that for students, the traditional path is becoming a gamble against organized syndicates. While the system remains broken, the only way to minimize the risk of a compromised exam is to prepare for the reality of it, by building a plan B that doesn't depend on a single vulnerable testing agency.